The one that I find the most interesting and absurd and the weakest is kind of the one that you brought up before, that you said was you can kind of understand, but it's not even one particular criticism of anarchy. It's this type of criticism of anarchy where the criticism applies so much more to the existence of a state than to the absence of a state. And you see this all the time. Like once you just start thinking about anarchy, you see this all the time. And I don't mean to pick on him, but when you debated on Lex Friedman's
Yaron
show,
Brook,
when you
yeah.
and Yaron Brook debated, and he said, I forget the exact line he said to you, but he said something like anarchy is oh my god damn it, I'm gonna blank on the line, but it was just a perfect description of government. Like he said to you that anarchy is a minority like imposing their will on a majority or something like that. And you were like, dude, like just step back and think about this. And there's lots of different individual arguments against anarchy that all fall into this class. So whatever it will be, you know, like you said before, the markets lead to monopoly. And you're like, okay, but you're advocating a monopoly in the truest sense of the word monopoly. There's never going to be a monopoly that's as true of a monopoly as the government is, which is from any type of government you have cannot not be a monopoly. And if it's not, then it's not a government anymore. The government says we have a monopoly on at least legislation, courts, you know, like at the very least, they have to have a monopoly on these services. And then in most, you know, senses, also police and schools and all types of other things. But so there's just always these arguments that are far more applicable to government than anarchy, but are launched with like this certitude that we've got anarchy pegged right here. Because look, I mean, how do you deal with this? What if one of these criminal defense, you know, or one of these defense resolution, you know, agencies were to take over, and now they run the whole thing? So what about that, mister? And you're like, so your answer is to start with that? Like, that's your response? Is like, well, your worst case scenario would be really bad, so I want to enshrine your worst case scenario into law.